안녕하세요. 저는 루입니다. I'm Lou.
안녕하세요. 저는 리안입니다. I'm Lin.
So, Lena asked me the other day if we can look at the first songs from BTS and go through. If we go through in like a chronological order, like it's going to be a lot for her. But I think showing her the first, starting like maybe reactions with the first songs that BTS ever, like their debut song, would be a good place to start. So, I mean, she has seen now, I think I've shown her Tear, and is that the only BTS song I've shown you? Tear and trying to think. The rest were solos. So, yeah, so we're going to look at that today and do No More Dreams first. And yeah, it's baby BTS in their like debut days. It's so cute.
I've actually been kind of curious as to what their debut song was, because this is going to be interesting.
Yes, and it's there's a lot of black eyeliner.
Hey, that was a good era. I've seen the black eyeliner era, okay?
I would have lived the black eyeliner era. Okay.
I'm still in the black eyeliner era.
So true. Me too, actually. Especially today. Okay, so let's do No More Dreams by BTS.
Before anybody watching, please subscribe.
Yes, please subscribe, please like, and enjoy our channel.
Yes. Okay, now you can start. Okay, let's get into this. Jen, where did you get your license from?
What's up? This is Big Kid Exclusive. And the coolest kid in the world. BTS. Rap monster. Jimmy. J-Ho. V. And who do we got here right now? Sugar. Jungle.
So cute, I love them.
They're so gangsta.
They are.
I want a big house, big cars, and big rings. But 사실은 I don't have any big dreams. 난 참 편하게 살아.
I can't go over how echo half of them are, but half of them look exactly the same. It's the weirdest thing. It's like cutting half of you went back in time and filmed with baby half of you.
It's true.
Suga looks the same, but he just dresses different.
Yeah, I love the bandana. The bandana, like I lived in bandanas at that stage as well. Just check the actual captions for the lyrics. It looks like you got auto
It says it's auto-generated. It doesn't seem to have
should. Oh
no, it doesn't.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay.
Oh.
We'll look at the lyrics after.
Those glasses, though, I was a Star Trek fan. They definitely exist in an episode of Star Trek for the guy that used to wear them. Oh, what was his name? There's a character that wears those wraparound line glasses in Star Trek.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
That's what it made me think of when I seen it. Also, can we just discuss RM's what is going on?
I love it.
I think it was just last week I sent you photos of the original Big Bang.
Yeah, that looks similar to that. You could see that they were standing there
you can tell they were completely inspired by the original Big Bang. I swear this is a lineup taken straight out of the Big Bang scrapbook of photo styling. It's so funny.
정말 머리라도 갈 거니까 알았어 엄마 지금 독서실 간다니까 지금 네 거울 속에 누가 보여 I gotta say 너의 길을 가라고 단 하루를 살아도 뭐라도 하라고 나약한 건 왜 말 못하고 있어 공부를 하기 싫으면 하면서 학교 때를 찍으니 겁나지 이거 받은 거야 준비하는 벌써 설정들은 제발 좀 얼마 손해가지고 유리 멘탈 boy stop 자신에게 물어봐 언제 네가 열심히 노력했냐고
He's such a baby, but he can totally rap.
That's what I was about to say. Like early BTS had a lot of JK rap in which I loved, that like he was doing that in the beginning especially. So it was really
It's so cute. He sounds so cute though. He doesn't sound hard rapper. He sounds cute.
Yes.
They are so cute. I was just that hair. It just made me think. RM's hair didn't Taeyong? Is it Taeyang? From Big Bang had the same hair.
Had the same hair, exactly.
I always want to confuse his name. It's not Taeyong. It's Tae something. Taeyang. I think
Taeyang,
it is.
something like that.
He had the exact same hair. That hair's hilarious. I love that hair. That hair's funny.
It's so cute.
왜 자꾸 딴 길을 가래 야 너나 잘해 제발 강요하지 말아줘 고작이 꺼내 지겨운 쌤네 반복되는 미래 어른들과 부모님한테는 받기 꿈을 실패 장래 희망 넘버 원 공무원 강요된 꿈을 하나 구해 말 구원
V looks like he's about 12. Hard ass gangster rap line and then V.
He looks so young, it's so cute.
So Jen, Kobe, and Suga look exactly the same, but the
They
rest
do.
of them look like they've like lost 10 years of age. Well, it is about 10 years, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's true. It is 10 years. And V, like whenever I see this V, I think of the moment when he first met RM and walked into the dorm, and RM like saw this little kid bowing to him, but like he saw his naughty little eyes looking around the room, and he was like, "This kid's gonna be a handful."
You can
It's so
tell just
cute.
by looking at him, he was just a little at that age. He has that face. JK's cute. V's just mischievous.
Mischievous. He's like a little
And
like,
RM, oh my god. I think the biggest change in all the members is RM. He went from being quite scrawny and very young looking. His body proportions do not match the size of his hair. To being like the RM of now, where he's buff and he's like,
Hulk.
yeah, he changed so much, and then
He
Suga has
did.
not changed at all.
No.
Just got better at dressing himself.
Jin hasn't changed at all. He has
No,
not
he
aged.
hasn't. He's a vampire. It's all right.
He's a vampire. He is.
Oh, let's get back to it.
시간 낭비야자에 도주구를 날린 나 똑같은 사회 반항해 꿈틀 싸면 자신에게 너와 네 꿈의 프로파일 감을 받던 인생 네 삶의 조가 되어봐 슬피 모여 지금 네 거울 속에 누가 보여 I gotta say 너의 길을 가라고 단 하루를 살아도 뭐라도 하라고 나의 감은 담아줘 내 꿈은 뭐래 야마 내 꿈은 뭐래 야마 내 꿈은 뭐래 네 꿈은 그래 거짓말이야 such a liar 심이야 비싼 차이야.
You know who they remind me of? I don't know if you had them in the States or in South Africa because they were a British band. They were called Five.
No.
They
Oh,
were
wait, maybe.
They were massive here for a while. I think they did do a USA tour. They were out at the same time that I was in that girl band. And the sound of this song is so similar to one of their debut songs. And the whole vibe and the whole, even RM's like rapping, like he's like half shouting, half, is so similar to the guy. I think he's called Jay in Five. He was the rapper. Everything about this is just flashbacks to Five's song. And I was in love with them. So this is like it's like nostalgia, but in a brand new song.
It's so cute. I love this kind of vibe. And sometimes I like just blast it in my car and it's like, it's really good to dance to.
Yeah, it's totally my Kpop song. It's this kind of song that I just love putting on when I'm blitzing the house or I'm doing something physical and you can just bounce around like a mental person and nobody cares.
Exactly.
This is exactly that song. That's why I still to this day have the 5 songs on my playlist. Like I have all their songs gone back. I'll need to find that one and send it to you, and then you can see how similar it's the beat, it's like it's the tune, everything. It is so similar to one of 5 songs. Okay, back to it.
왜 자꾸 딴 길을 가래 야 너나 잘해 제발 강요하지 말아줘
꼬매머리 고작이 꺼내
살아가는 법을 몰라 날아가는 법을 몰라 결정하는 법을 몰라
이젠 꿈꾸는 법도 몰라 노래 떠났다 이제 춤을 춰봤자 다시 꿈을 꿔봤다 너 꿈을 대지 마 춤을 대지 마
거짓말이야 심이야 이 시선 차이 왜 자꾸 딴 길을 가래 야 너나 잘해 제발 강요하지 말아줘
I've seen New Army complain that BTS has changed its style and sound a lot over the last 10 years and they're not the same band they used to be. But I'm sorry, I can still hear the same BTS in this song as some of their new ones. Like I can still hear the same, it's not even a vibe, like it's the same sound. You can hear
identity, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard some of the new ones that you've like played for me when you've showed me like their tour videos when they're doing big stadiums. Some of their songs now sound still like this song.
Yeah.
Like the rap line in that has changed around and JK just does more singing now and obviously there's more vocals in their songs, but I can still feel the essence of BTS from this song in their newer stuff.
Well, and I think like there's so many different types of fans, ARMY fans. Like there's some more toxic ones and less toxic ones. I think sometimes you get the weird fans that just want them to stay in this whole, and I think it's more that they're talking about not their style of singing changing, but they're like there's fans that just want their Korean stuff. But like you have like these fans that are very like exclusionary of stuff BTS does that might be experimental or might like be pushing outside the box, and then they immediately want to understand BTS, which to me is mind-blowing.
Yeah, they're very good at high energy songs like this one, but they're also very good at the slower, more like meaningful ballady songs. Yeah. And no matter which one they choose, which style or which genre, they still have the essence of their sound. Like I've never understood, and after hearing this, I can definitely still hear it. Like they've not changed all that dramatically.
No, and they've got it's the chemistry that they have with each other that like get their voices work well together as well. So,
okay, let's finish this one.
To all the youngsters without dreams.
So cute.
I definitely feel like they have progressed with lyrics more. Like the lyrics to that one, you could tell they were wanting to bust out for their debut with a bang. They were going to get all their gangsta in there, their showcase all their skill. But I feel like over the years, their lyrics have become deeper and more.
Okay, so we're just going to quickly look at the lyrics and then we're going to discuss the song quick.
Oh, the big house, big cars, and big rings. Plus, I should not have any big dreams. 난 참 편하게 살아 꿈 따위 아무도 뭘 안 하잖아 다 똑같이 나처럼 생각하고 있어 까먹 꿈만 터널이 시작 왜 하긴 걱정 마 멀리라도 갈 거니까 알았어 엄마 지금 독서실 간다니까 지금 네 거울 속에 누가 보여 I gotta say 너의 길을 가라고 단 하루를 살아줘 뭐라도 하라고 나약함은 왜말 못하고 있어 공부는 하기 싫다면서 학교 때려치기는 겁나지 이거 받은 거야 준비하는 벌써 설정들은 제발 좀 얼마 살아가지고 유리 멘탈 보이 스톱 자신에게 물어봐 언제 네가 열심히 노력했냐고 야만 내 꿈은 뭐래 야만 내 꿈은 뭐래 야만 내 꿈은 뭐래 네 꿈은 그래 거짓말이야 거쳐 라이어 심이야 비싼 차이야 왜 자꾸 딴 길을 가래 야 너나 잘해 제발 강요하지 말아줘
Okay, so just to give you context, this was written for the youth. Obviously,
you can tell it's a very teeny bopper aimed song.
Yeah,
Like the message in it is for teens.
Yeah, and basically it's for the work ethic kind of mentality in Korea of the kids that are going to school there, because they go to school for most of their lives till 10 o'clock at night, some of them till 2, 3 in the morning. And they're doing it for, like, they might not be following their dream. A lot of them are just doing what their parents want them to do. So they want them to be doctors, lawyers, whatever.
I like that line where they said, are you glass? Like basically calling them a snowflake. Are you fragile? Are you glass?
Are you fragile? Are you glass?
Very clever.
and so what BTS, this caused attention. It was their debut song. They weren't supposed to debut. They debuted because another band cancelled. And so they were put in as a filler. And so they had because they came from such a poor company, they were had a debut on this where they talking to the youth about what is it you really want? Do you have a passion? Do you have something you really want to follow? Don't be afraid to follow your dream. So it's a little bit of a rebellious song against society and against the Korean education standard of just being robots and being study all your lives. BTS was introducing us a rebellious message from their very first song about follow your own dreams. Who are you?
I'm getting that from the lyrics. It's kind of, I'm getting that.
Okay.
고작이 꺼내 지겨운 쌤네 반복되는 미래 어른들과 부모님한테는 바퀴 꿈을 실패 장래 희망 넘버원 공무원 강요적 꿈을 하나 구해봐 구원 투소시간 낭비 야자에 도지구를 날려 똑같은 사회에 반항해 꿈이 택배 싸면 자신에게 물어봐 네 꿈의 프로파일 감아봤던 인생 네 삶의 초가 되어봐 지금 네 거울 속에 누가 보여 너의 길을 가라고 단 하루를 살아도 뭐라도 하라고 나약함은 담아줘 내 꿈은 뭐래 야만 내 꿈은 뭐래 야만.
This song also kind of fits the whole Scottish culture. We are quite similar in Korea that going through school, you're kind of egged on through the entirety of especially high school to focus on what your end goal is.
Yeah.
I think the first time you get pulled in for a one-on-one conversation is when you are 13, and that's when you're supposed to know what your end goal is, so they can tailor all of your studies to what you want to go to college as. So I feel like Scottish culture is very similar in that we're not as stressful as Korean education. They take it to a whole other level, but I do get this song is very fitting for Scottish culture and Scottish teens. It's exactly how I felt in high school because, I was a little rebel. And this song would have been totally my theme tune. Yeah.
거짓말이야 거쳐 심이야 비싼 차이야 왜 자꾸 딴 길을 가래 야 너나 잘해 제발 강요하지 말아줘 왜 꿈을 머리 고작이 거니고 자기 거네 살아가는 법을 몰라 날아가는 법을 몰라 결정하는 법을 몰라 이제 꿈꾸는 법도 몰라 눈을 떠났다 이제 춤을 춰봤자 다시 꿈을 꿔봤다 너 꿈을 대지 마 춤을 대지 마 거짓말이야 심이야 이 시선 차이가 왜 자꾸 딴 길을 가래 야 너나 잘해 제발 강요하지 말아줘 내 꿈을 머리 고작이 거네 To all the youngsters without dreams
I was one of those youngsters without dreams.
So I still don't have dreams. I'm joking.
Actually, it's not that I didn't have a dream, it's that I went in at 13 years old armed with a list for my one-on-one meeting. And she was like, you can only have one of those. They're all pretty high intensive choices right there. And I'm like, look, if I want to be a fashion designing astronomer, vet, policewoman, interior designer, singer, writer, actress who travels the globe and has adventures and studies marine biology, I'm sure I could fit it in. I should have known back then I had ADHD because pretty much everyone with ADHD has about 12 careers that they chose.
It kills me because you and I are so similar. Like I've been the jack of all trades. I don't know if I've been the master of many, but like I've done so many jobs in my lifetime. I've been like, let me see, I'm a fine artist. I was a school teacher. I was a sales rep. I was a sales manager. I was a marketing manager. I was then a corporate trainer, self-development coach. The list just goes on and on. Graphic designer. So it's funny.
I have a huge list as well of every job imaginable. I worked in a pet shop, and then it's funny. When I worked in the pet shop, they tried to put me in charge of the reptile section, and I was absolutely terrified. I literally quit my job because of it. And then 4 years later, I became the director of a reptile rescue and would walk around with snakes on me giving public talks. I went from that to that.
So funny. I was a cartographer, which is making maps, which is so odd. Oh, and I was a flight attendant for like
I was a
6
photo
years.
lab technician, fully trained.
It's so funny. We're so similar. It's scary.
I was also I worked for Sky Television as a technical advisor. I was the one that would fix your dodgy Skybox. I also worked, I don't know if you had it in America, but in Britain we had something called 192. So it was directory inquiries. You would phone up from a phone box and say you needed the phone number for something, and we would manually find it. Yes, before Google. I worked for 192, and I
That's
spoke
hilarious.
to so many celebrities because I used to work the weird shift. So I worked like the millennium.
Yeah.
Because I had not been long in that, so the millennium was like a big deal. Nobody wanted to work the millennium. And I worked the night shift, so I worked from like 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. And obviously the millennium was a big deal. Everyone was out partying. So from 5 p.m. till 5 a.m. for that New Year millennium, I got so many celebrities phoning up half cut, wanting taxi numbers, wanting hotels.
That's funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but I like the BTS message of following your dream, because like eventually you and I found how to
Even
follow
if
our
you have
dream.
15 of them.
Because I mean, now we're both authors and artists, and so we've found our niche, but it took a while.
I don't know if I'm like finished yet. Like
No,
I
neither
bounce
am I.
around from everything. I've
Same
been
here, too.
everything.
So
I even
funny.
worked in radio. I was worked in a radio station as a trainee radio. What do you call them? Like the host, the person that's supposed to speak. I
Yeah.
did that after I was in the girl band. And okay, little story here. Do you know why I quit that job? So I had only been with the radio station for 3 days, right? 3 days when we all got invitations to the Sony Awards because our radio station won an award. So we had like a big party because we got some crazy radio award from Sony, and it was like a big glitzy thing. So they rented an ice rink and put go-karts on the ice rink for us, and we had like a big buffet and champagne and stuff, and I was allowed to take a +1. I was only young at the time, so I wasn't taking any boys with me. I took my best friend, Vanessa, you know Vanessa. And me and Vanessa, being our little wild selves, when nobody was on the go-karts on the ice rink, we decided to get sloshed, jump in and have a race. Except we were so wild with driving them that we spun them on the ice and reversed into each other and collided and stuck both cars in permanent reverse, and black smoke started coming out of them. We couldn't get them to stop doing it. We broke them, basically. We left them in the middle of the ice rink, still reversing in a circle, stuck together, and we legged it. And we went home from the party before anyone found out. And then I resigned the next day in case anyone found out I broke 2 go-karts and tried to bill me.
That's funny.
4 days spent as a radio presenter.
There's so much. My message is to like young kids or kids in school. There's so much life can offer you. There's so many adventures ahead. So don't be boxed in by things you expectations of parents or other people. Do what you really want to do, and even if it's not one thing, people these days do so many different kinds of jobs, and they're so adaptable. And do what fits your lifestyle. Put it that way.
Exactly.
If you want to work remotely, work remotely. If you want to travel with your job, find a job that makes you travel. If you want to like figure out what you want to do and do it.
Unless you are 100% dedicated that you know what your life path is going to be, for example, like you want to be a doctor. If you haven't got something specific like that requires a certain educational path, education is not that important. I totally flunked high school. I dropped out of high school early. I got good grades for most stuff, but in the end, they all just kind of went because I left middle of the year and didn't even finish my exams. And I still ended up doing things that they told me I would never do. Like, I was terrible at English. My whole entire school career, I was awful at English. One English teacher told me, don't ever get a job in journalism or creative writing because I feel like you would fail. And I've had jobs in both. I was a really good journalist and I'm a really good author.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not that important. Later in life, when you figure out what it is that you want to do, then pursue the things that you need to be able to do that. Until then, have fun with your life. Don't get overly stressed.
Very few people know what they want to do at the age of like 13.
Exactly.
So, well, thanks guys for watching our reaction to No More Dreams. And and have a wonderful rest of your day. And if you like this video, feel free to like and subscribe.
Yep, don't forget to subscribe so you'll see our annoying faces in the future. And we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.